I'm Jason Nunn, Fisherman's Warehouse, Tuckerwalk, Marks Point, with a windy Friday fishing report. Blue sky, a few showers early this morning, but this wind will basically hang around pretty much all of Friday and into a little bit of Saturday, but it's going to back off tomorrow. And Sunday, guys, looks absolutely perfect to get out there. But I reckon we've got 4 or 5 days of sensational weather right the way through next week. And it's going to give everyone an opportunity to get out wide and get some more of these yellowfin. Of course, we've got some great tides this weekend. Low tide, 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. High tide at 10 a.m. And the new moon, it just rolled through on Wednesday night. So basically, we're looking at this cycle of weather that's going to come out through next week, which should just mean some perfect fishing. Reports through the week, those yellowfin, everyone's been out there having a bit of a crack at them. There've been a little bit of a variance in really the depth of water. A couple of days ago, Darren Ham and his son Troy went out on Mayhem out of Swansea here. They got a couple of really good fish, 450 fathoms, guys, where previously the fish have been getting caught in around about that 80 and 90. I know Jeff McEwen also went up with Gav Cole off the bay last Sunday, and they found the fish out and around 200 fathoms. So you've got to just have a bit of a move around. At the moment, that big upwelling is out over the back of the canyons, and there's a lot of bait on the shelf. And of course, those winter striped marlin still around, but I think Sunday onwards will be absolutely perfect to get out there. If you're going to come back on those deeper reefs, the farm in the Texas, there's some good kings getting caught now. And of course, you really want to make, you get some time on it now, because September just around the corner, and we'll get those nor'easters coming through. So kings, longfin perch, and there's still some really nice snapper on that deep water, and particularly out the front on the farm. Now, if you're going to get on that inshore area, still a lot of those blue spot flatted around, but some nice reds, some really nice reds in close, right the way through, up through Merriweather, Susan Gilmore, and down towards Wyabung. There's a really lot of good fishing in tight right in on the shore, and we're getting some very good reports north of Port Stephens, particularly Broughton Island. Some very nice reds getting caught up around that Broughton region. The beaches, look, it's still the same as last week, guys. It's still a little bit tough. Few of them small salmon, the odd tailor getting around, but there's not lots of fish. There's the odd brim, but you've got to have to work pretty hard. The rocks, with these big westerly winds, the rocks are going to really sort of be a little bit more in favour. Plenty of good drummer around, good ludrick, and some really nice trevally. And look, when you're burleying, plenty of burley into the water. I think peel prawns for the drummer is the pick. And these ludrick are not only eating cabbage, they are eating bread. And the ability of burling up with bread is, of course, your bycatch with your trevally and some of those beautiful brim. But great this weekend for the shore-based angler. Ludrick in Swansea Channel and at Port Stephens, and no doubt in Newcastle Harbour. It's all happening throughout our estuary systems at the moment. There are plenty of ludrick getting caught. Weed's still a little bit scarce, but you just got to persevere and have a bit of a look around. Those salmon are still over the back of the Air Force Channel, that patch of fish. And again, it's typical. Some days they're biting and other days they're not, but they were definitely over there last Friday when we did the report. A few guys got over there after that and said exactly that. Today they bit, tomorrow they shut down. So you've just got to have a bit of a go. Some really good tailor schools moving around in the middle of the lake now, and as we move into September, we're going to see this big build-up. Last weekend, of course, some big schools of fish in Belmont Bay, and we've seen a couple of very good Facebook photographs of some very big tailor that were getting caught Belmont Bay back up towards Green Point. But that's the same thing that's now happening down at Poolba. There's a lot of fish down there, and there's a lot of bait. So these tailor are starting to get thicker. They're going to mass up. And I reckon as we get closer to this full moon, we'll see a lot more of that tailor movement out of the estuary. There's still some very good fish there and some nice flatties. And with these warmer conditions over the next few weeks, a lot more of these flathead will move back into that shallow water. But at the moment, still some very good fish in the deep. And of course, trolling and using vibes are working very well. And there's a few mulloway. And we haven't seen quite that build-up of mulloway yet in the estuary, but they are there, and I just think September is going to be really on song for these mulloway. Still a few reds in the lake because they're just filtering in from that close in offshore, and you know, around Moon Island down to Mawson, right in tight there. So a lot of these fish have come into the lake, and there's still plenty of bream, guys, and I'm getting reports, bream in the channel, but there's plenty of bream at the backs of the islands, and certainly down towards Nesca Park area. Some beautiful bream down there. Guys, all in all, it's going to be a bit blowy today. You've got to put up with it. But Saturday afternoon it backs off, and Sunday, if you're going to get out there, it is the pick of the weekend by far. Now this week, of course, we've got a couple of little things happening in store, but something that we're going to get into is we're just going to basically run a bit of a weekend special. Again, for our viewers, we're going to do 20% off all of our squidgy soft plastic range. So guys, get on down here, come and say good day. Todd and I'll be here tomorrow. The wind will back off. Sunday's your day. I'd love a bit of yellowfin. Get out there and I'll see you then.